Hey everyone, my name's Walter, and I'm back here from a bit of an absence with more content from Reddit. I got a ton of new subscribers recently, so I'd like to welcome everyone to my channel. Today we're once again going to be talking about neckbeards. Neckbeards are magnificent gentlemen who like to grow beards on their neck. They like to move Bibles to the fiction section. They enjoy Mountain Dew and anime. And if they're in my videos, they're probably socially awkward. You'll see soon, so let's just get started with more neckbeards from Reddit. Okay, as usual, we'll be starting off with some posts from Reddit Just Neckbeard Things. Man or women in Russia are angels when they are young. After age 20, that's another story. So real girls look how to black hole? That's the same story for women everywhere, except some Asian women. Studies show women age twice as fast as men. One of the reasons they lose their market value once they hit 30s. Wait, studies show that women age twice as fast? Why do they live longer then? I need to see these studies. I am only looking for a real-life relationship. Add my Skype to voice chat. Hi, I am an 18-year-old guy from the East Coast of the United States. An 18-year-old that uses Skype. Yeah, that checks out. I'm looking for a straight white girlfriend who is into anime and is not far from where I am. Preferences: agnostic, drug-free, not depressed, has a personality, trustworthy, honest, and compassionate. I do not like the words HRU, WDYM, WBU, and what? The abbreviations, too. If you say them around me on purpose, I'm blocking you. I am not looking for an internet relationship. I am looking only for a real-life physical relationship. That's the amount of trust you must have. Do not message me if it's only going to waste time. I am looking for a deep connection. One that I cannot ask of, but what matters the most is finding the girl I like, no matter what, and she feels the same. A girl that just knows how to talk to me. You have to voice chat. No ghosting. Only message for relationship. Don't message me if you're under 18. Don't message me if you're not voice chatting. Only use Skype. Don't message me if you get offended too easily. I am not looking for friendship. If you do medication or therapy, don't message me. No eating disorders, antisocial behavior, or narcissism. If you identify as being part of any large group, I am blocking you. If you insult me, disrespect me, lie to me, I am blocking you. If you're not on time, make me wait, I am blocking you. If I sense even an ounce of bad energy from you, I am blocking you. I'll block you in a couple minutes if I am talking to you and you apparently ghost. This guy just makes it incredibly easy to dodge a bullet. This post pretty much puts you into bullet time. And yeah, it does kind of remind me of Chris Chan. In search of one solid female who is not exactly a virgin, but has been on the shelf a while. Not long enough to blow dust off, but one that can be trained and submissive. Year preference is about 30. Must have a badonkadonk. Nice one. At least a 9 on the booty scale of bliss. Eye color cannot be green or hazel. Don't try to change with contacts either. Height must be between 5'2" and 5'5". Texan dialect a plus. Apply on WhatsApp. So I went and looked this up. 2% of people have green eyes and 5% have hazel eyes, so it's not really something I'd worry about. They are two of the rarest eye colors. So yeah, oddly specific requirements here. Booty scale of bliss sounds like something Loving Too Much Iowa might say. I have all the social experience I care to have. People are mostly morons, and I really can't stand them. Evidenced by how the majority of the population in North America still believe in an overseeing sky daddy. I'd rather be by myself than to associate with them. This guy probably is a genius. Why else would he be posting to Reddit? Okay, let's see what our friend Lucas Werner's been up to. Simp to her. Hi, I'm Lucas Werner, and your eyes are all the catharsis I will ever need. Okay, that's pretty embarrassing, but wait till you see this next one. Fekin Zoomer Ova. Stop apologizing for your age phobia and have a salumi plate aperitivo, dinner and drinks with me at Gander and Ryegrass. My Simptoberfest queen for my high telomerase Gen X seed pursuing a doctorate in age gap breeding. Telomerase, age phobia, itty bitty base. I promise I'll explain his doctorate in age gap breeding and other madness in my next video about him, but for now, let's go read today's story. This story comes to us from Reddit Tales of Neckbeards, the smaller subreddit for neckbeard stories that I go to sometimes. We're going to see a lot of entitlement in this story. I set you up. I deserve a threesome. So this is going to be a train wreck of a post, but I'll try and piece the whole story together. Sorry it's long, or if the formatting is bad, or if this is in the wrong place. I'm also going to give a general trigger warning for the whole post, but I post it another morning when it gets really bad. So when I was in my junior year of high school, I broke up with my boyfriend after a toxic relationship. We had a mutual friend who we'll call Jay who sided with me after the whole thing, as he had seen how awful my ex was. Jay is our neckbeard of the story. He was 2 years younger than me and had dated my sister, but we remained friends as we had quite a bit in common and my sister didn't have any issues with him. They just didn't click. He was around 6 feet tall, not fit but not overweight, blonde hair that always looked dirty, and BO you could smell from a mile away. He also had sort of a neckbeard. It looked more like unkempt stubble, if that makes sense. At first he was very nice, and I will say he was kind to me all the way until the end of this ordeal, but to everyone else he was kind of an asshole. Now I wasn't completely oblivious, so I saw these red flags going into the friendship, but after my ex, I felt like I had no one as he tried to cut me off from all of my friends. So basically I would take whoever I could get. We started hanging out more, not romantically or anything like that, just eating lunch together or going to the mall. He didn't show any interest in me, and everything was fine until my senior year. This is where O comes in. O was a shy new girl, about a year younger than me. She had long dark wavy hair, big brown eyes, and the most beautiful voice. She loved singing, anime, playing guitar, video games, and Vocaloid, which she got me into. My kind of person to hang around with. We didn't really get to know each other until second semester, as we both started vocal lessons together as an elective. This was a very small school. We started talking, and I fell hard. I had come out as bisexual the year prior, and most of the school either knew or assumed, but I don't think she knew. Now we only had that one class together, but she and Jay had quite a few. They had become friends, and eventually we all three started hanging out. Eventually I told Jay I had a crush on O, and he said he did too. I asked him if it would be awkward and said I could back off if he wants. He said it's fine, it won't bother him who she picks. I assumed everything was okay and continued to awkwardly flirt with O. This went on for about 2 months before the trip. A little explanation, I went to a private rich kids school and every 2 years they would host a trip overseas. This year was to Japan, and seeing that both O and I studied Japanese, we were very excited. Jay would also be going and a few of our other friends. Well, as luck would have it, O and I were assigned as roommates on the account of us being such good friends. Yeah, my school just completely forgot girls can date. This made the staying in the hotel awkward, but what was more awkward was Jay asking me about. He would ask if I had made any moves, no, or if I had seen her in her PJs. We both covered up because we were awkward. I wouldn't say anything, and eventually he dropped it. One of the days on the trip, Jay said he needed to talk to me. He told me he knew that O was into me and that I should make a move. I didn't believe him and I was shy anyways, so I brushed it off. That was until that evening. Our group ended up going to a show that had one of the girls dressed in a slightly revealing kimono and beautiful makeup. Now, I'm not proud of myself, but I might have watched her a bit longer than most. I was sitting next to O and noticed she was watching her too. This ended up with us each confessing we were bi, which gave me enough confidence to ask if she was interested in me later that night. She said yes, and we agreed to start dating when we got back to the States, which we were headed back the next day. In the morning, I told Jay, and he basically took credit for setting us up. The next few weeks were amazing, and Jay was very supportive. Of course, though, we all know it's gonna get weird. About 2 months into our relationship, I was about to graduate, and Jay had started sending O weird messages. Stuff about polyamory and how beautiful she was. When she said she was uncomfortable, he would start talking about me. Now I'm a busty girl. O wasn't as well endowed. He would talk about how I had enough boobs for the both of us, and how he wanted to bury his face in both of ours to compare. I didn't find out about this until he started begging O to convince me to have a threesome with the two of them. I was horrified, and so was she. We both blocked him and stopped hanging around him at school. When we eventually confronted him about it, he hinted at it being the least we could do for him setting us up. Wow, this guy has it all figured out. He really thought this was going to lead to a threesome somehow. These guys often don't take a lesbian relationship as seriously as a straight one. This is pretty dumb behavior though, even for a high schooler. We stopped talking to him and I graduated. O and I stayed together, and after about 6 months, she reached out to Jay to try and be friendly again. I heard all of this over the phone from O, so I might get some things wrong. Everything was fine for a while until Jay started making sexual advances towards O. He said since I was gone, they could be together. She rejected him and blocked him once again, but this time he didn't let it slide. He started spreading rumors, starting with her leading him on, until he started saying both of us were sleeping with him and he was rejecting us for a relationship. I didn't care about how it affected me as I had graduated, but I knew it hurt O. Again, we went to a tiny school, and even if they knew she was telling the truth, there was still a shred of doubt. She eventually reported him to the principal, which was what started the threats. O got a text from another guy at the school. It was a screenshot of texts sent from Jay, all detailing graphic things he wanted to do to her. I'll list some of them. I'll have to paraphrase as I don't have them, but they were pretty violent. Major trigger warning. Some of the texts. I want to bite her ear off slowly and watch her bleed. I want to put her on a guillotine and watch her head roll. Someday maybe I'll just show up to her house and do what I want, not like she can fight back. I'm gonna go to her house with a gun and take her and myself out. O took these screenshots and brought them to the principal. Jay was in huge trouble and there was talk of expulsion, but nothing really ended up happening. Jay's mom was the head of the science department, and they couldn't lose her, so that's how he got away with these things. She also defended him, which became student versus teacher. When questioned by other students, Jay claimed he had multiple personalities and they were to blame for his violent behavior. He said he couldn't control them but refused to get help. Now, I'm not a psychiatrist and neither was O, but I was diagnosed with OSDD-1B in 2018 and O knew about this. Jay did not. I was immediately critical of his claim because 1. He said multiple personalities as opposed to the updated name dissociative identity disorder 2. Alters are rarely violent to others. In most cases they are violent to other alters if they are violent at all. 3. I never saw him switch. He would just become visibly angry and claim later that was someone else. 4. It just really seemed like a cop-out for his behavior. When the board found out, they said he needed to get a psychiatric exam, but that never happened. He did actually leave months later, but not for anything related to this. He was being bullied after he dated a 12-year-old at the age of 17 and then threatened to force her to sleep with him. And again, the school did nothing about this. He left because he no longer felt welcome. Thank you for reading. Sorry this is so long. Honestly, I have more stories about him and other generally creepy guys O and I had to deal with, but those are for other posts. Wow, this guy's a real piece of work. Oh no, he got picked on after dating a 12-year-old. Finally get to use this picture. I tried to at least once a video. This guy sounded like he was headed toward prison. Like he's bound to act like this out in the real world and not get away with it. He's also one of those guys who's probably faking a mental illness as an excuse, which is always fun. The insanity of hooking two people up and expecting to shoehorn yourself into the relationship. It's a very nice guy move. Well, let me know what you think in the comments if you have anything to say that I didn't. But that's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please leave a like, feel free to comment on anything, and if you're new here and enjoyed the video, consider subscribing for more of the same. I'm now closing in on 20k subscribers, so let's keep this going. Big thanks also to my generous patrons, who I will be shouting out now. Jimmo, Levon, Chris Sturman, Invader Jill, Cody Smith, Who's That Guy, Daniel Delapena, Deborah Douglas, Brendan Rexford, Maxo11X, Horatio T, Justin Godsey, MDB 3000, V stands for Elvis Needs Boats Bennett, Cho, Shay Parker, Mary Vanorsky, Spoonie the Rogue, Hunter Malcolm, Amanda Gillies, Jacob K, Camper Supreme, Knit1 Code 2, Roy, Lil Spoon, Shit for Brains, Ms. Mayhem, Jubes, Regrettable Stitches, and Esperova. Thank you all so much for the support. My content can't always be monetized, believe it or not. I will be picking up the pace now that I'm back. I might actually cover Lucas for Halloween. Seems appropriate. But for now, I've got some Reddit stories that I want to bring to you, so we should be back on that tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone, and don't do the creep.